Just like that. Hey forum, Manny back here with another video on the CascadeScents fragrance station, and this one is on my ultimate fragrance travel guide. Now I feel compelled to make this video because, believe it or not, I do have to do a lot of traveling now. So I came to a few certain conclusions on how I'm going to bring certain fragrances with me everywhere. I'll try to be as detailed as possible, but in case I'm not, forgive me, sorry. Also to note, if you're primarily here for some airplane regulations, I'll leave that towards the end of this video. Anyway, we might as well get to the first way of traveling with fragrances, and that is doing with samples. Now, in my personal opinion, samples are great because not only are they super portable, but they're also free. You can kind of just walk into your local Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, Sephora, or whatnot, and they'll hook you up with some of these. That, or you get them along with some of your other purchases and whatnot. But believe it or not, regardless of if you are going away for a while or if you're just out for a day trip, I do not believe that this is the most optimal way to travel with fragrance. Like, in my opinion, you're going to run through this wear super fast. Because when you think about it, you're going to have to spray a lot more out of your samples because of the mini atomizer for this mini vial. Like, compared to an actual L'Odyssée Pour Homme sprayer, like, that's not enough. You have to spray it 2 or 3 times in order to get the optimal spray that you get out of an average atomizer. Like the average atomizer from an actual fragrance bottle. So think about it, if you want a full wear of this thing and you normally spray your pulse points, that's like 2 or 3 sprays per pulse point, and all of a sudden you're out of your L'Odyssée Pour Homme sample. So we might as well talk about a more effective way of carrying something around travel sized. So that's why we have these travel size atomizers. Like, you can actually buy these at actual retailers and you get a more comparable spray to actually what you'd get from an actual atomizer from the actual bottle. Therefore, you can be a little bit more liberal and effective with these, which I love, and you still get all of the portability that you know and love from the samples. The only main issue with these is that they're not exactly cost effective. Like dollar per ml value-wise, brands are known to gouge you with the less quantity you actually decide to go with. So for my beloved L'Eau d'Hiver here by Frederic Malle, maybe I should have gone with a 50 or 100 ml bottle for the sake of value, or maybe a split or decant, which I'm pretty sure would be at a more generous value than these actual spray things that they actually retail, depending on how generous the seller is, of course. And now that finally brings me to the most effective way to actually travel with fragrances, in my personal opinion, and that is splits and decants, of course. Now, splits and decants are great because, again, sellers are typically more than chill about it. Typically, they are fragrance users themselves, and they don't feel like they'll actually get most out of the bottle. So that's kind of what I have here with some Virgin Allen Water by Creed and some Aventus by Creed right here in this one. And again, I can't emphasize it enough, you're probably buying into something way more cost effective than an actual travel size sprayer. You know, again, one of those official retail ones, thus having all of the pros of the official travel sizes. So now I'm ready with these, I can just stow them away in a pant or bag pocket and I'm good to go. That being said, I still think there's as optimal of an option to actually travel with your fragrances. Like, especially if I'm going away for a while, what I'll actually do is bring full-size bottles. Now, of course, you can be even further more liberal with the sprayers here, but you do sacrifice that portability. But assuming the bottle is already something you had, it's not like you're spending extra money to get a smaller size of it in, right? So I guess that's cost-effective because these are also cost-effective too if you want to take a look at it value-wise. But yeah, honestly, sometimes I am away for more than a month on a business trip or something like that, so maybe a travel size or decant isn't going to cut it. But say if my trip entails that I actually have to take an actual plane there, then I have to double-check the size of my bottles for the sake of transportation regulations. I know for most Western countries, for you to take liquids, gels, or aerosols as carry-on your plane ride, they have to be under 100 mLs. So that means my 120 ml of Aventus would actually have to go into my check-in luggage. But the problem with that is I don't know how liberal those transportation guys are going to be with throwing my luggage around and stuff. This could break in it. So that's why Creed has blessed us with a 75 ml. Therefore, I can take this on my actual plane ride carry-ons and I would know if it's going to break or not. So once this gets screened along with the rest of your carry-on, you can pretty much just throw it into your normal carry-on bag. Yes, you need to have your own resealable bag for liquids, gels, and aerosols. But who knows, maybe I'm gonna be a little bit rough with my carry-on, so I just don't want to throw it in like this. So before actually throwing it into my giant bag, that's why I have this. This is an Amazon Basics GPS and or small electronics case, believe it or not. But I found that lately this is a great way for me to improvise and actually travel with my fragrances with. All I gotta do, slide it in here, just like that, then zip it up. I'm good to go. Again, transportation regulations are different everywhere, so just make sure you abide by whatever your country says. But this has seriously been awesome for me as far as falling in line with actual regulations and keeping my fragrances safe. Or again, if I'm looking for something more compact, I can always do this. So if you didn't already know, you do know the pros and cons of doing any of this now. If you guys have any fragrance travel tips yourself, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know. And if you found this video entertaining and or informative, give me a thumbs up. It really means a lot. For now, I think that about does it for me at CascadeScents. I'll leave all my links in the description below as per usual. And until then, I'll see you next time with another fragrance related video. Take care, peace out, bye. Wear your fragrances.